Hey guys, it's Chloe. So yes, I am sitting on the floor because I am here with a huge collective book haul that is from January to now, the middle of April, and there are so many books that I just stacked them on the floor. So we're gonna sit on the floor and you guys are gonna see this book haul. I have no idea how long this is gonna be. I'm gonna try and make it as short as possible so it's not too long. But these are all the books that I have acquired since January, so over the past 4 months, and there's a lot. I don't remember where I got all of them, but I'm gonna try my best. And I will also let you know if I have read it or not. So we're not gonna make this intro too long, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first book I picked up is Luck's Consequences by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the bind-up of the third and fourth book in the Lux series, and at the time that I got this, I was actually in the middle of reading the series and I'd finished the second book, so I ordered this on Amazon, so I had the third and fourth book to go ahead and read. Next, I have Red's Untold Tale, and this is by Wendy Tolliver, and this is a Once Upon a Time story based off of the ABC TV show that I love. And I picked this up. It came out, I want to say it came out over a year ago, I think, but I've been wanting to pick it up and I've been wanting to read it, and the sequel actually comes out next month and I definitely wanted to pick that up. So I decided to get this because I love Once Upon a Time and I wanted to read this before the sequel comes out. Splintered by A.G. Howard. This is the first book in an Alice in Wonderland retelling series. I do have, I think, the third book ensnared in an ARC format, and I saw this on, I think, clearance at Books A Million, so I picked it up. I think it was like $3. So I picked it up because I love Alice in Wonderland and I love retelling books, so I definitely want to give this one a try. Next, I have one of my most anticipated releases, and I still haven't read it yet. It is Carved the Mark by Veronica Roth, the author of the Divergent trilogy, and I have not picked this up yet. I am waiting to do a buddy read with my friend Kathleen from For the Love of Books, so I'm waiting for the audiobook to come in before we actually start that. But I'm excited for this, but at the same time I'm hesitant because there has been some controversy going around this book, and I cannot form an adequate opinion until I read it. So I'm kind of putting it off, but I'm just waiting for the audiobook to come in so I can listen to it. I have another one of my 2017 anticipated releases, and yes, I have already read this, and it is Wires and Nerve Volume 1 by Marissa Meyer, the graphic novel in the Lunar Chronicles series, and this is a brand new story that takes place after the events of Winter. I'm pretty sure I did a book talk on this, so I will leave that linked down below, but this was absolutely fantastic, very fast-paced, and I loved it, and I'm so glad that I have it, and I can't wait for Volume 2 to come out. Next, we have Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo, and this is the first book in the Grisha trilogy that I've never read before, but I found this for like $3 at the Bookworm, so I definitely wanted to pick it up. A lot of people love this series. I've never read it, so I don't know, but there's a lot of talk about like the Darkling and everything, and then, you know, there's Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, and I just feel like I need to read this trilogy before I read Six of Crows. Next, I have Wonder by R.J. Palacio, and I was very hesitant to buy this book, basically because it was, why am I turning orange? Basically because it was at a used bookstore and it doesn't have the dust jacket, and I really don't like that. But I purchased it because it is a Once Upon a Read-Along book of the month later in the year, and I definitely wanted to have a copy of it. I don't know why I'm turning orange right now, but we're just going to go with it. But I kind of just keep it on the bottom shelf because it doesn't have the dust jacket and I don't like it, so yeah. We have Sweep Volume 4, and this has Seeker, Origins, and Eclipse by Kate Tiernan in it. This is the last bind-up edition that I needed to complete all of my, like, Sweep collection. I have the individual books, and then I have all of the bind-ups. It's a really random one, and honestly, I'm probably never going to read this. I don't know why I bought it, but it is On Writing by Stephen King, and this was recommended to me by Elizabeth from the Owlery, and she says it's definitely something for, like, somebody who writes a lot, and I don't write as much as I used to, but I'm starting to get back into the swing of things with it. So I picked it up. Next, I have Nobody But Us by Kristen Halbrook, and I don't remember where I got this. I want to say it was the Bookworm, and I don't remember what this is about. Just the little, like, not even a blurb, but it says they're young, they're in love, they're on the run. It reminds me of Shadow of a Girl by Shannon Greenland, which was a book published by Entangled Teen that I did a vlog tour for. So that's what this kind of reminds me of. Next, I have Pretties by Scott Westerfeld, a book that I already own, but it's taller than all the other ones, so I'm getting rid of my old copy, and this one is the same height as all of mine, so they match now. Next, I have After You by Jojo Moyes. This is the sequel to Me Before You, and I believe it's a duology, but I found the second one at the Bookworm, I want to say, so I decided to pick it up. So these next 4 books are from back in February. I had a nice, like, booktuber lunch and book shopping with Elizabeth from the Owlery and Kathleen from For the Love of Books. So we went book shopping and I got these 4 purchases. The first one is A Whole New World, A Twisted Tale by Liz Braswell, and this is an Aladdin retelling. And I love retellings, and I've heard some good things about this series, especially from Elizabeth. And the next one, or the second one, is a Beauty and the Beast one that recently came out. So I'm interested in reading this, and I'm really excited. Next, I picked up Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This is the second book in the Red Queen series. And I actually have already read this, and I enjoyed it, but not as much as the first one. I like the first one a lot better. But I'm trying to catch up on this series. King's Cage recently came out, and I don't have it yet, so I need to pick it up so I can read it and get caught up on this series before the next one comes out in, like, February. The next one I picked up is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. This is the kind of, like, spin-off series of the Mortal Instruments, and this is the Dark Artifices series. I finally finished the Mortal Instruments a couple months ago, and I'm currently reading Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, and then I need to read Lady Midnight, and I will be all caught up before Lord of Shadows comes out in May. The last book I picked up from that day is Hello, Goodbye, and Everything in Between. This is by Jennifer E. Smith. This is the one Jennifer E. Smith book that I have not read besides her new book coming out, Windfall. And I'm actually going to do a buddy read for this with Alyssa from Pucks and Paperbacks as soon as I finish my review book that I'm reading right now. But I have been, like, in and out of the reading slump for the past, like, month, so I have no idea when it's gonna happen. So I'm sorry, Alyssa, I'm trying really hard. Next one, I don't remember where I picked it up. I'm just gonna assume it was from the library bookstore, and it's The Iron King by Julie Kagawa. I read this series a long time ago, and I really, really enjoy it. And it's a really good series, and I'm assuming I picked it up from the library bookstore, but I don't remember. So yeah. Next, I have Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys, and this is a historical fiction novel, and I don't really read a lot of historical fiction, but Ruta Sepetys was coming to a library that's near where I live, and Kathleen from For the Love of Books and I went to the signing, and I got this on Amazon so I could get it signed, and it says, For Chloe, Freedom, Ruta Sepetys. You can't even really see it. There it is. So the next book is The Shadow Queen by C.J. Redwine, and I think I bought this with an Amazon gift card that I got for Valentine's Day. And I read this last year for one of the Once Upon a Read-Along book of the month, and I really enjoyed it. And the sequel actually recently came out called The Wish Granter. And funny enough, CJ Redwine was actually at a Polycon that I was at a few weeks ago, so I got to meet her, and she was able to sign the copy. You can't see it either. There it is. The next book I picked up is one of my favorite books ever, and it was also a Once Upon a Read-Along book months and months ago, and it is The Fill-In Boyfriend by Casey West, who was also at a Polycon, and I bought this with that same Amazon gift card, but I got to meet her, and she is so nice and so amazing, and I just loved this book so much at the time of reading it, and I definitely need to reread it soon. These next 3 books are books that were given to me by Elizabeth from the Owlery. She will sometimes receive ARCs or win books that she doesn't like. She's not a big contemporary fan, but she knows I am, so she'll give them to me. And the first one is With Malice by Aline Cook, and this is an ARC copy, but this book is already out. I honestly have no idea what this is about. I do know that she did read this, and I think she enjoyed it. So I have no idea what it's about, but I was all for it. I have another one that she gave me called The Romantics by Leah Conan, and another one that I have no idea what it's about, but it says a rom-com about love told by love. So that sounds interesting, and this cover is gorgeous. And this one is an ARC. No, yeah, it's an ARC, and it came out in November. But it's another one that I have no idea what it's about. Next is another ARC that was from Elizabeth, and it is Words in Deep Blue by Kath Crowley. And this one comes out in June of this year. No idea what it's about. I'm gonna try and read it before it comes out in June. It is fairly short. It's not even 300 pages. It's like 270 pages. So I might try and read this before it comes out in June, but it's another one that I have no idea what it's about. She just had it and gave it to me, and I accepted. So the next 5 books in this haul, we're just gonna call it the Jennifer L. Armentrout portion of this haul. She was at a Polycon that I was at a few weeks ago with Elizabeth from the Owlery, and I got some of her, I'd already had some books that I wanted to get signed by her, and then I ordered one on Amazon and got a couple there to be signed by her and the cover models that were there. The first one is The Problem with Forever, and I read this back in like November and I really enjoyed it. And funny enough, I met her at BookCon 2016 and I got a chapter sampler of this book signed, and before it came out. And then I got this, met her at a Polycon again, and got it signed. And I told her how much I had loved the book when I read it. I listened to the audiobook, and it was really good. And it was so nice to see her again, and it was exciting. I have Wicked, also by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I have no idea what this is about, but it is signed by her and the cover model who's on it. I believe his name is Justin. I don't know what his last name is. But this is a gorgeous cover, and this has been out for a while, I think. But I have no idea what it's about. The next one is The Struggle, but the cover model as well as Jennifer L. Armentrout signed this one as well. And you can kind of see it down there. I don't remember what the cover model's name is, though. I'll have to go back and look at my clips that I got from a Polycon and see if I mentioned his name anywhere. Next I have Stone Cold Touch, and this is a book that I already had, but I had it in the old cover, and then I had the first and third one in the newer cover. And when I saw that this one was available in the new cover, I picked it up so I could have a complete set of the new covers. And this one is signed as well. What's irritating though is I have this one signed in the new cover, and then I have the first book in this trilogy signed in the old cover, and it's kind of irritating, but it is what it is. And the last Jennifer L. Armentrout book for now is Oblivion, and this is the first book in the Lux series told from Damien's point of view. And this one, the cover model was there as well. His name is Pepe, and he signed it and she signed it. And I loved the Lux series, so I can't wait to read this one from Damien's point of view. Okay, next is a book that I already owned in paperback, but I got a hardcover to take with me to a Polycon and get signed, and that is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I got to meet her at a Polycon, and it was absolutely fantastic. She is so sweet and so nice, and this is the one that was actually like personalized by her. She was only like actually physically signing one book because she does have a hand injury, and all the other ones that she was signing were just stamps, but they're really, really gorgeous stamps. So I'm just really glad I got to meet her. So I talked about this a little bit earlier when I hauled the first book, but now I'm hauling the second book, and that is The Wish Granter by C.J. Redwine. I bought this one specifically not only because I wanted to read it, because I loved the first book, but because she was at a Polycon and she did sign this one as well. This one is actually a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, which I've never read before, and you know, once upon a time, Rumpelstiltskin is one of my favorite characters, so I'm very intrigued by this one. The first book was a Snow White retelling, and now this one's a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I want to know how they intertwine, and I'm very excited to read it. Next we have The Epidemic by Suzanne Young, and this is the sequel to The Remedy, which is a spin-off series of the Program duology, which is one of my favorite duologies ever. And I got this from Books A Million, and she was also at a Polycon, so I got it to be signed by her. I've read The Program and The Treatment. I have not read The Remedy or this one yet, but I kind of want to reread the first two before I complete the series. There's one more coming out too, so it's like I have to kind of reread or backtrack or read summaries or something before I can continue on with the series, but I don't see why I haven't, because I absolutely loved the duology. It was fantastic. So these next two books were also given to me by Elizabeth from the Owlery, and the first one is Windfall by Jennifer E. Smith, her new book coming out in May. Yes, in May. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to read this before it comes out, but I'm still excited because I love Jennifer E. Smith's writing, and I've read most of her books, so I'm really pumped to read this. I wish it looked like all the other covers, how all the other covers like match really nicely and go together, but This one doesn't, but I wish it did though. And the other one is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow, and this one already came out. It came out in August. This is also an ARC as well. And Elizabeth said she read this and enjoyed it. I have no idea what it's about, so I'm excited. It is a contemporary, I believe, and she said it would be something I'd probably enjoy, so yeah. So these next couple of books are from an indie event that I went to called Book Obsessed Babes in Jacksonville. I actually already put up my vlog for that, so I will link it down below. And some of these I purchased, a couple I did not purchase, they were given to me. So first we have books 2 through 5 in the Fangirls series by Robbie Cox. I've read and reviewed. I did a book talk for Fangirls Nikki a couple months ago, so I will link that in the description below. But the other 4 books had not been released in paperback at the time, and now they've been released, so I was definitely going to pick them up at this event. But we have Fangirls Lily, Fangirls Cassie, Fangirls Olivia, and Fangirls Willow. And these are really short stories, and they're like 80 pages each, and really quick to get through, so I'm hoping to pick them up very soon because I really enjoyed the first one. Next we have 25 Years Later by M.W. Lee, and this reminds me of the True Blue trilogy. This story, as explained by the author, quite literally takes place over 25 years. So I'm really excited to read this. The font is actually really big, so it should probably be quick to get through. It's close to 400 pages. It's almost 400 pages. But it reminds me a lot of the True Blue trilogy, which for the most part I enjoyed, so I look forward to picking this one up. Okay, this next book honestly sounds hilarious. And when you go to indie events, especially indie signings, it's a wide genre range. It's not just YA or NA. It's literally everything. It's YA, NA, adult, erotica, anything comes. And this one, it just sounds hilarious. I saw the cover of it and it looked really good. And then when she explained it, it was really funny. And it's called Clam Jam, and it's by R.C. Bolt. Bolt. And the way she explained it is, Clam Jam is the female equivalent of a cock block. And it was just so funny when she explained it to me, and this is like a contemporary and a comedy, and I was sold when she explained that. So I'm really excited to read that. The cover looks fantastic. And it was just hilarious when she explained it. So yeah. So this next book was given to me by the author, and it is Blood Surfer by Deborah Jess. And the way she explained it is that this is about superheroes, kind of. How our main character can stop like an illness or old age, stuff like that. And it was very intriguing. And that's all I can remember. The big thing that stuck out was superheroes to me. And I was kind of sold after she said superheroes, because I do like and enjoy superheroes, especially the modern ones like Marvel and DC. So I have no idea what to expect going into this. And I don't remember if she said if it was YA or NA. I think she said it was YA, but I'm not sure. And I think this is the first in a series as well. So this next book is another one where it's just like, really, Chloe, really? And it's called it's called Fucking Awkward, and it is 23 short stories about awkward encounters. So it's just awkward sex, basically. And honestly, when the author explained it to me as well, I was laughing. And I saw the cover and the title, and I was just like, I have to have that. And then when she explained it to me, I was like, I really have to have that. So this is just, it's a book, it's an anthology of short stories, and it honestly sounds interesting and hilarious, especially because it's awkward. So next I have Falling for Him by Amy Stevens. I believe this is either YA or NA, and I don't remember exactly what it's about. She had 2 different books that I was really interested in, and this one and another one that I know Kathleen purchased, and we decided we were each going to read it, and then we would like trade and read the other ones. So this one is pretty short, so I don't think it would take long. It's not even 200 pages. But both of them sounded really interesting, and I'm excited. This next book is called Honesty by Seth King, who actually has a channel. I looked it up after he told me. I looked it up when I got home. But this is a YA LGBT novel. When he said this was YA, I was very interested, and I definitely wanted to give it a try. These next 2 books were given to me by the author, and the first one is Shamrocks and Secrets by Casey Popania. And then I think this one is like, I think a novella that goes with it. It's called, okay, I'm totally gonna butcher this, but it looks like it says Clada and Chaos. I probably just completely butchered that. So I think this is a novella that maybe comes after this one. And I have no idea what they're about. When I was explaining what I do as a booktuber, she was like, well, how about I just give you these two? And I was like, okay. Those are all the books that I got from Book Obsessed Babes. Finally, the last book in this haul, this extremely long haul, is Alex and Eliza, a love story by Melissa de la Cruz. This came out on April 11th, and this is the April book of the month for Once Upon a Read-Along. So guys, that is all I have for the extremely long book haul you guys just watched. That's a lot of books. I obviously don't haul enough if, like, I don't haul every single month like I used to. So they just collect and collect and collect until I finally film a book haul. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Of course, if you have not entered, my 1K giveaway ends tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. Tomorrow, Sunday, April 23rd, is the last time you have to enter. So I will leave the link to that video down below so you can go check it out and read the rules and everything about that giveaway. That is all I have for this video today. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like a behind the scenes look at my life, you can check out my second channel, Chloe Essence. You name it, I probably do it on that channel. And if you'd like to see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So click subscribe so you can be updated for when I post those. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!